You're listening to Mind Over Money, presented by Waymaker. I'm Lachy.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Archie.
Today, we're giving you 10 ideas of how to save money now. Hey Tim, hey Archie.
Hey Lachy.
G'day Lachlan. G'day Tim.
So today is a quick discussion on how to save money now. Archie, start us off. Why is it important that we save money now?
So we've got the government pushing up interest rates to reduce how much money's in the economy and to slow things down, they're out to reduce inflation. Because things got overheated in the economy there. So now they're trying to pull things back. So saving some money now, because that's all the government's trying to do is pull money back out of the economy again. So for us to actually start saving money now, putting money away, is a really good time to do this. Because one, we've got high interest rates to get paid on that money that we're saving. And number two, we're going to pull it back out of the economy to help get that economy back to where it should be, and hopefully get the interest rates starting to come down again. So we can all do our part to, look after the economy and work together to get things working better for each of us. Yeah,
true. Tim, are you doing your part to help the economy?
I thought you were going to say to help this podcast. That's a really interesting angle there, Archie. And I think what we can do personally is go through a stage of saving, and it's good to gamify things, as we often talk about on this podcast. So I think today we're going to talk about 10 ways that we can save money now. So shall we
let's do it.
Get started? I might start with the first one.
Okay.
So the first way to save, or maybe even make money is if you're spring cleaning. I've got a 1.5-year-old, and he is just in everything. And the other day he found a nice mirrorless camera that I forgot about, and quite a good quality lens. And I was like, I could sell this on Facebook Marketplace. So I guess the first thing we could do is maybe if you have some good quality items that you really don't use anymore, jump onto Marketplace. However, you're selling it at obviously a discount. It's cheaper. But also that's a great way to build a bit of funds towards your goals. Yeah,
time to do a spring clean, I think. Sell some stuff. Quick way to make some money and save some money. Save some money if you're buying things as well. Certain items I found, like furniture pieces. When we moved into our first home, we had some silverwood furniture. That's a type of furniture. And we actually bought the remaining pieces off Marketplace at about 70% less than the normal price. And they were all from local people within probably 5 kilometers of us. And the items were almost brand new, but for whatever reason, they'd moved into a home and it didn't quite fit. We came along and picked up those items, and they've been great. So I find things like, Marketplace are great for when you're shopping around for furniture. You can potentially pick up a piece almost new for a lot less than the retail price.
Yeah, we're doing a bit of a spring clean as well. Yeah, it's good. It's a good way of moving stuff on.
Yeah, give it a second life. Okay, second way you can save money. So we've talked about stuff. Let's talk about services. Selling your skills is a great way to bring in an extra $100, even $200 a week in income. So whether it's, cleaning the house, dog walking, tutoring, just basic things. If you're going to start up a lawn mowing business, you're going to need some gear, some insurance. There's some risk involved. So you probably want to look at services that are low risk, almost no startup costs, just based on your current skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although you could, if you got an elderly neighbour and you're going to mow their lawn for them, and charge them for that, that's usually pretty low risk, to go in and do that sort of thing. I think you just got to assess what your risk is when, but if it's only just, some basic quick money, it usually should be low risk there. But we do need some rain if you want to mow grass.
True. Yep, we need more rain.
And if you're in part of your little local, Facebook group, which I am, I see teenagers on there all the time offering their services, whether that's dog walking or tutoring. I think it's a great way to be in the community and help out. And I think people are excited to help out locals and pay for services of people they know. So it's a great way to build rapport.
The other good one in the local area, like you're just talking about, Tim, is babysitting. You can pick up some good teenagers to do babysitting for you when you want to go out for your anniversary or any special occasions.
Yeah, that's in demand in our area. All you need is a blue card for that. You've got to think about what skills do I have now? And for example, like my wife's Chinese, so she started tutoring Mandarin a couple of years ago, and she started with just a few clients a week, and now she has over a dozen clients. In fact, a waiting list of clients, and she's charging good hourly rates now to do that. So yeah, think about what skills that you have that you can maybe turn into a tutoring business on the side and help others. Okay, what's another one?
Let's talk about food then. Obviously, we talk a lot about our groceries and shopping on Waymaker. If you go back to the podcast archives, you can find it. But buying generic brands. So rather than buying, all the brands that have spent all their excess on advertising to make you want to buy more of their brands, just buying the generic
premium brands.
Premium brands. And premium doesn't always mean premium quality. So just looking through the different options and looking at the generic brands of the supermarket, wherever you're shopping, I think there's a lot of money that can be saved. Yeah, I think you were looking at this week, Lachy, that there's quite a bit you can save.
I think it was Choice found you can save almost half on your weekly grocery spend. So if the average Australian, I think CanStar was saying the average Australian, if they're spending $160 a week on groceries, that means you could save almost $80 just by switching to, basic branded items for your basic items on a grocery bill instead of buying those premium brands. You can almost cut your grocery bill in half. That could be $80 easily a week you could save on your groceries.
Yep.
I guess you could also switch supermarkets.
Switching supermarkets, going to somewhere like Aldi where there is no options can really help. If you, because when you go into the main supermarkets to buy those plain brand items or generic brand items, you got to look down the bottom of the shelf to see them. Whereas when you go to Aldi, there's just no choice. It's just you've only got the one packet of biscuits to buy, the one lot of milk, the one lot of everything. So which is part of the reason what makes Aldi so cheap.
Although I've noticed that Aldi are introducing their own premium brands now, so you've got to watch out for that.
Oh. There you go.
But when Choice did the research on this as well, they did find that when they compared the 29 regular household items, like a shopping basket, they found that you could save almost 54% by going to Aldi.
Yeah.
So those plain items were a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But we've also got those other supermarket options where there's your big fruit shop type ones where they also sell the milk and the bread and all the other household type items that you regularly buy, and they can be selling them quite cheap too.
Yeah, big bulk discount meat shops. I've also found there's some 24/7 Asian supermarkets in Brisbane that sell really cheap fruit and veg, and they're open 24/7 for some reason. So you can go get your broccoli at 2 a.m. Okay, let's talk about tech now. So one obvious way to save money here is to ditch your big telco. We often get stitched up in these flash new phone plans, but what happens is we get stitched up in the actual plan itself, which can be quite expensive, and we're paying more than we need to. So we can switch to a SIM-only month-to-month plan. I did this years ago and never looked back. So I just buy my phones outright, go on a month-to-month SIM-only plan, and I find that they're way, way cheaper. Same applies for internet. NBN is agnostic, so you can use it with any provider. It's just a technology. So you can switch around and find, we switched to a brand. I won't say which one, but I think we're saved over $100 a month on our phone and internet combined compared to what we had with the big telcos before. And the funny thing is a lot of these new challenger brands in the telco space, they're using the Telstra or the Optus network, but they're wholesaling it, so they're able to streamline their product offering and offer a cheaper rate. So you can be paying $30 a month for your phone like I do and be getting all the similar features to a big telco plan that could be double the price.
Yeah, I've been seeing people spend up to $500 a month on their telco, and that's just for two maybe three phones plus internet. That's a lot of money per month. That's $6,000 a year, and the sort of money we're talking about here, you're dropping back to like $100 a month is all you really need to be spending, and so you're back to $1,200 a year instead of $6,000 a year. There's some huge savings to be made there. But you got to go back to using older tech, so you don't want the brand new phone. You want the phone that's a couple of years old so that you get it at a good price.
Yep.
And again, because you're saving and paying for it with cash, you can generally find a good deal.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I bought my iPhone 11 or 12, whatever it is, and I bought it when the new iPhone came out so that the current or the two models old one is always discounted that same week. Right now we've got another new phone that's come out, so you'll probably find that a couple models down, they'll all be on sale this week. So you can just go pick up a phone a lot cheaper.
This can be a great reason to get some savings in place at the moment so you can buy your phone outright and get off the roller coaster that just keeps taking you around with a lot of expense for no real benefit.
And speaking of tech, we can also trade in our old devices. So laptops, phones, iPads, you can trade them in for cash. There's some really reputable services online where they just mail you out a bag, you pop that item in, mail it back, they give you an assessment and they give you money in the bank. But it's not just saving money. There's actually rare minerals in that tech. And so they're quite valuable, and that's why they give you money for your old phones and your old iPads. They can extract those minerals back out and recycle them and melt them down. So
it's good to know.
It gets batteries out of landfill, put some money back in your pocket as well. Archie, transport's a big area of our finances. What can we do to save in that space?
Yeah, the sort of stuff we've been seeing where people are really saving is going from, say, 2 vehicles back to 1 vehicle, and then shifting over to, getting to work on an electric scooter or an electric bike or even a motorbike. And that's actually saving, like in Toowoomba, we're seeing, instead of paying parking every day when you take your car to work, the motorbikes are free, or the scooter, or the push bike, is free parking. They're a good way to go. You're getting rid of a second car, which they're costly. We've seen the car costs in the last sort of 4 years jump from costing, somewhere around say $5,000 a year to $10,000 a year per car, and on average
running costs. Yeah,
and that's $100 a week increase. So say, you're paying $200 a week just to have a car and run around in it.
Yeah. But it's also cutting down on the time that you're spending in the car. Say you live a bit out in the suburbs, but you're sort of near a train line. Maybe you drop from 2 cars to 1 car and your partner drops you at the local train station on their way to work or on the way in the morning. Then you catch the train into the city or wherever you're working. You might free up 30 minutes sitting in traffic. You can actually sit on the train and do some work, read a book, actually relax, listen to a podcast or something like that, and not be stuck in traffic and burning fuel as well. So you might find that and often the transport is much cheaper than driving. A couple of dollars to catch a train or the bus is quite affordable in Brisbane and major cities as well. So it might take you a little bit longer. There's that convenience trade-off, but you can save a lot of money there.
And that's what this is all about, is what can we do to save some money? So yeah, there's always got to be trade-offs.
So I think we're on number 7, possibly.
So,
we lost track there. Next, we'll talk about debt, and this is kind of a large one, so I just really want to define what we're talking about here. This is kind of debt consolidation. So if you've got multiple debts, it is possible to consolidate those, put those together. I'm talking about car loans, credit cards, student loans, even your HECS, and or buy now, pay later, or like we mentioned before, phones, if you're on that phone cycle. But we got to understand the purpose behind consolidating the debt. And in a lot of cases, it does actually free up a bit more cash flow. It really depends on the situation. But what is the goal here? And if it's to consolidate so you can spend more, then maybe that's not going to help your situation. But you can consolidate so you can pay down that debt faster. And it's more simple in your mind. But not only that, you can practically pay it down quicker. And there's a purpose behind it. Like, okay, I want to buy a home, but I have these 5 different debts that look terrible on my credit score, and reducing my serviceability. If I can really tackle this by consolidating those debts, we can hit those goals earlier.
Yeah, so that's one you want to talk to a mortgage broker about and get a professional to help you consolidate those debts. But you're right, there's got to be a purpose behind it. such as, getting ready to buy a home. And the problem with having multiple debts is they're all coming in at different times, and it really adds confusion to your cash flow because you're paying multiple debts and you don't really know where the money's going, and it makes it hard to save regularly. So, consolidating into one simple repayment can give you that clarity and that confidence back to move towards a goal like buying a home, because you know that debt's going to get paid off in a fixed amount of time, and it's back in your control.
Yeah, especially today too, when you're wanting to buy a home, your HEX debt, your student debt is being counted, which is reducing your ability to borrow to buy a home. So you've got to be very careful around, how much debt you're actually carrying, so that you can make sure that you can get the money that you need to buy your home.
Yeah.
Okay, subscriptions. That's another one. Let's talk about that.
This is where you got to look at your bank statements and see what the hell's coming out.
Yeah.
Because we do tend to forget what subscriptions we have.
Yeah. There's been this focus to create subscription model businesses, and this has really exploded during COVID as well. And as a result of all that, we've got all of these little subscriptions that we've added, these, everything plus in our life now, whether it's streaming services, or we've got gaming services, premium apps, fitness apps, gym memberships unused, even memberships for shopping. You pay the shop more to get a discount. I don't get that one, but points subscriptions, all these different kinds of subscriptions have been created in recent years, and they might all seem like little costs individually, but they can actually add up quite a bit. So I guess the point here is I think we need to do a digital cull every couple of months, actually see what we're using, what we're not using, and if we're not sure, maybe just hit the cancel button and see if we miss it in a couple of months. And if we've totally forgotten about it, then it was probably good to see it go. So, that includes software, memberships, services, online services, digital services. We've really got to look at what we're signed up to.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think you got to make it fun. I think maybe this is my personality, but I like a challenge. So maybe it's like, okay, all these viewing subscriptions, I'm like, okay, let me cut them. And I'm going to try read more and give a time frame. I'm going to do it for 3 months and make it a challenge. And then often by the end of that, I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't even miss it. or I can go back with a challenge that makes it more fun, more enjoyable.
I know a family that they only subscribe to, the Disney and the Netflix for the kids on the school holidays. And then as soon as those holidays are over, they can them. And then they take their kids to the local library and they get them to pick their favorite books. And so they're reading books at nighttime. And then when school holidays comes around, the kids know again, okay, sign up for Disney again and watch our favorite shows. But
makes it fun.
You've got to have everything in balance, especially with entertainment subscriptions.
Yeah, just on that one, like if you check your phone and have a look at all the apps on your phone and figure out which ones actually have subscriptions attached to them, you could be pretty shocked. Because I've even got gardening apps and stuff that are subscriptions. Yeah, it's amazing what subscriptions are out there.
Yeah, there are. Even these like apps that track your time or journaling apps, all these subscriptions attached to them. Everything's got to be the pro level to access all the features. So we can be spending money on all kinds of things.
Yeah, and the dangerous ones can be the yearly ones. You don't see them. Because they just come through once a year. Around. Yeah.
That's true.
Right. So the next one's general insurances. General insurances, most of us would be feeling a bit of pain from this one at the moment because the insurance industry, due to all the things that are happening worldwide, the insurance costs are going up. Because when it comes to general insurance, we have a system where there's reinsurance. So we might be insured through a company here in Australia, but we don't realise that there's a big conglomerate company behind that company who reinsures everything worldwide. So the fires that we're seeing over in Canada at the moment, they're affecting our insurance premiums. And then cyclones, tornadoes, all the rest of them that are going on around the world, they're all affecting our insurance premiums too. So now's the time to really look at your general insurances. This is your car insurance, your house insurance, contents insurance, even your health insurance. and start to have a good look at those and compare and get some quotes, because what the general insurance companies tend to do is push up premiums every year. And they do that specifically so that they've always got a bit of room to move. And so when you ring them and say, hey, look, I need a better price on my premium, they're quite often ready to drop their premiums. Yeah. The thing to remember with insurance is we're out to protect the big items. If we need to replace the couch, we should be able to pay for that, ourselves. We don't want an insurance company to be paying for that or paying for an iPad or something. But we do want the insurance company to pay for, a kitchen fire or an exploding water pipe that destroys half the house. Those are the things we want the insurance company to pay for, because they're outside of our ability to cover those things. Because if you think about a kitchen renovation, it could be 50 grand or 100 grand. So you definitely want to have the insurance to cover that. And the thing is, that we should remember with general insurance is that, like every company, they're out to make money. And so the places they make money can be by, getting you to take out a policy, which is an accidental policy, which means they're covering everything, that you could accidentally break. And that sort of stuff doubles your premium, and you probably won't really claim on it. And the reason it doubles your premium is because they're expecting more claims. And so, that's when you're going to end up having to pay more for your insurance. And every time you claim, your insurance is going to go up. So like we said before,
Catch-22.
The aim is, we want the insurance there for the big items, not for the small stuff.
That's good.
Last one we got, bonus 10.5 here, is your personal insurances. So this one you got to talk to a financial advisor about. But personal insurances, these are your life insurance, your total permanent disability, your trauma, and your income protection covers. You need to catch up again with a financial advisor and check how they're going, because we have seen quite large premium increases in this area as well, especially for income protection and especially if you're female. So we need to look at those things and keep a check on those as to what premiums we're paying, and make sure they're within budget.
Okay, that's 10 things. 10.5 if we include the extra insurance piece we got in there. So there you go, 10 and a half things, 10 and a half ways or areas actually of your life that you can save money in. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Archie.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hey, if you have any ways of saving money, let us know. There's a link in the show notes. You can give feedback or leave comments or ask questions about these discussions that we have every single week. So we would love to hear from you. Just click the link in the show notes and let us know. How are you saving money?
Join us next week for the top 10 shadow list of ways to save money. That includes selling your kidneys, or which balaclava is the best to buy to start your life of crime.
Yeah. Let us know too. What are those shadow ways you can save money?
The shadow list.
We'll report you to the police. I don't know if we can add that bit in, man.
Well, thanks as always for listening to Mind Over Money, the podcast that helps Australians have finances that work. We'll see you next week.
This podcast is for education purposes only. It's not financial advice. You can head to waymakerpodcast.com.au. There's a link in the show notes if you'd like to connect to one of our trusted wealth partners. They can help you get advice that's tailored to your situation. And remember, if you're looking at insurance, always read the product disclosure statement before choosing a product.